Hi, my name is Chris Schnaufer, and today I'm going to creating a Survey123 survey using the online forms. First, I'm going to go over a quick survey I put together, and then we'll cover creating the survey. First, I'll do a quick review of a survey that I've put together. Then we'll go into editing that survey. And finally, I'll show you some of the content that's created when you create one of these surveys. Here's a quick, easy survey I put together. As you can see, we have a landing page, which you can add a description. I'm going to click the next and begin filling out the form. Here we have a drop-down form that is initially closed, so you have to click to open it. A date and time field, which is pre-filled. Multiple select. And then a map where you can specify where you're going. Since this is a Monty Python skit form, we're going to click somewhere in the UK. Here we have a responsive field. If I click no, I can be done and then submit it. If I click yes, I have some more information to add in. When I filled in how I've met my demise, you can see that I get a goodbye message. Then I would submit the form and I will get my final thank you message. So to begin a new survey, you click the new survey, you get these choices. The first two are online surveys that you can have. If you want a blank survey starting from scratch, just click here. If you want to use one of the pre-existing templates, you can click there. It then takes you to other screens. Cancel out of this and go to the survey that I currently have. Even though the survey was 3 pages, you can see that everything is displayed in a vertical format. Pages are clearly marked. Drop downs are not quite as clearly marked, but you can get the idea. You have this little area next to the title. Over here, we have all the different fields that we can add. Images, you can add a file upload that gets attached to the survey that you send in. In display and structure, you can add a note, which is how we had the goodbye message. That's a note. Pages, you can see we've got pages marked and groups. So that allows you to condense a bunch of fields into a single drop-down. As I mentioned earlier, this is collapsed by default. So if you're going to change it, you're probably going to remove that collapse by default if it's clicked. Then you can see the different fields that are in there. To add a field, select where you want it to go after. So I can add a field here. Select that goodbye. Add a field here. For example, give a rating. How was your experience? So I can add fields. You can also have these survey elements, including a CAPTCHA. Edit, just select a field and the edit will change based upon what your field is that you've clicked. You can change colors, background images, lots of other nice handy things. And then we have a variety of options, including a thank you screen. We can then modify the text in it. As you can see, there's a little editing box here. And here we have some options that can be taken after submission. So you can check these out if you want them. And then you can also have your survey in multiple languages. Once you're ready, you can save the survey as you go. You can save as, so you can save it as a different name, handy, kind of using it as a template. And then when you're ready to have others look at the survey and use it, you can publish it. This could take a minute. All right, there's one thing to be aware of after you've published a survey. When you remove a field, I'm going to now publish the new survey. This is where we need to pay attention. If you don't click this box of what is going to be deleted, it's going to retain the answers to that question. This is the only time you have to automatically remove the answers to a particular question. Obviously, if you want to keep the data around, you just don't click it and it'll keep the old data around. You do want it to be removed, you click it, and then it'll be highlighted in red, and then you publish it. And that will remove the data from the tables that are behind this survey. So that's it. Once you have that, you can go over to Collaborate. You can share the link. You can open it up in a web app. You can open it up in a field app. You can decide who's allowed to submit a survey, what the submitters can do, whether it's draft mode is enabled, multiple submissions, and other things like that. And then you can also do a different survey status, as you can see, sharing results, updating the survey, and other things, group settings. You can also analyze the data and see what the responses are based on the question. You can also look at the data in table form. And this shows the different locations where the data was collected. Finally, there's some settings. You can add webhooks to it, and you can also turn on location sharing. The version information is whether you want it to always use the latest version or to just use the version of Survey123 that this was published at. And then requiring update to the latest version of the survey. Probably want to check that so that your users that have the survey offline will be required to update it before they can use it. And click save. So that's a very quick overview of what the forms are that you can create. It's pretty handy for putting together simple, quick surveys. Behind the scenes, all of these fields are in one table. So now I'm looking at my content online, and if I go to the feature layer, this will show some of the information about the feature layer. You can check this out yourself, and there's a lot of things you can edit. Another thing we can do here is to look at the data. And you can see that all we have is just one table that has all of the fields. If you want to look at some of the hidden fields, you can click Show Hide Columns. And for example, you can see the unique object ID for each of the entries. As you can see, it gets populated right away. You can also sort on the fields by clicking the header and then choosing what you want to do with it. If you want to have your data saved in multiple tables, you have to download Survey123 Connect, and that allows you to use a lot more of the functionality and a lot more of the power of what these surveys can do. This is just the web app, so it does a very simple form, shoves everything into a table, which you can then access. And if you're back at the overview, you can export the data to all these various formats. That concludes this little overview. I hope you find this useful.